Thank you, Mr. Brady, and thank you to our guests. I can't think of two or a better duo than Senator Gramm and Mr. Kudlow. Thank you for joining us here today. This is such a timely topic, but the discussion that I think we're about to have is absolutely key for the future of our country. Just for emphasis, I know that Kevin just mentioned several of these, but let's just go over, for emphasis, some of the major points of the TCJA, Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, that lowered the rates and gave a larger standard deduction to help so many American families, effectively lowering the tax burden for so many American families. Section 199A to bring parity to the tax treatment of small businesses compared to large corporations. A competitive corporate tax rate. I mean, this is something that even President Obama recognized, is that we needed to be more competitive to put an end to the inversions that were happening on a regular basis, overwhelmingly regular basis, especially compared to the time since we passed the TCJA. Repatriation has been very effective to get companies to pay taxes on their profits that were parked overseas. And so much of this, as you know, led to some good, solid economic growth, not a sugar high for our economy, but steady growth that added to wages, added to economic growth, added to, I think, a prosperous future for so many Americans. Obviously, the pandemic got in the way of that in large part. I'm just glad we were on strong footing before the pandemic. I can't even imagine if we went from an Obama economy straight into the pandemic, what it would have been like. But I'm so concerned about the Democrats' proposal, President Biden's proposal to increase taxes. Their so-called American Jobs Plan. It certainly makes it clear that their goal of tax increases isn't even about maximizing revenue. It's to pay for government programs. They want to do what they can to increase revenue, I think, although some of their policies will actually decrease revenue. But it would seem that their goal is to explicitly remove capital from corporations and small businesses so that they can redistribute all of these funds to groups that they favor politically. I think we need to be very careful of something like that, because I think it backfires. I think it will cause shrinkage in our economy and certainly less opportunity for the future. But look at capital gains alone. To double the rate to almost 40%, we know that creates lockout, that it will actually generate less revenue. Very reasonable people across the political spectrum would agree that doubling that rate will actually lead to less revenue from capital gains. So I just think that we want to avoid these terrible policies that have been proposed. Obviously, I represent an agriculture district, but I know it impacts districts across America, and this repealing of the stepped up basis. There are studies that show that it would generate about 100,000 job losses because of this money grab by the federal government. And I'm discouraged that the Democrats seem to be opposed to family-owned businesses. That for some reason the structure of a family-owned business they think is not right. And yet I would hope that, and I think folks across America would agree, that we want to keep these businesses, whether it's in agriculture, whether it's in real estate or other industries across our economy, that it's a good idea to keep businesses in families, especially when multiple generations have worked so hard and already paid taxes in so many other forms to keep that business going and create opportunities for their own employees' future. So thank you again to our panelists and for everyone joining today. It's certainly a timely discussion on a very timely topic. Thank you. I yield back.